You're listening to Brigade Radio 1.
Welcome to the Antisocial Show.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming to get you.
Your hosts, Underblock and Tyson.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Antisocial Show, the only show that's so social we're almost antisocial. I am Hunter Block, and he's
Tyson Sainer.
Okay, so we officially got underway a few minutes ago. I wouldn't say too far behind schedule tonight, but we do have a little kink in the mechanics of what's going on. So when you see the video, just know that it's beyond our control. Those podcast gremlins have at least one of them anyway came back.
Right. Well, there are people who are seeing this will know what you're referring to, because I don't think you're seeing what I'm seeing.
No, not at all. Well, I never see what you're seeing until you actually put it up on YouTube, of course. Right now, what I'm seeing for anyone that's listening and not going to see the video. So what I'm seeing right now on my computer is Tyson, all of Tyson. He basically takes up my screen unless I minimize it. And then, of course, I'm in the upper right-hand corner in a little box. Now, normally when Tyson does this, and it works, basically, he has a split screen where I'm on one side, he's on the other, and that's what you see when you watch the video. For some reason tonight, it's not cooperating with us at all. So maybe next time,
because Skype is inconsistent. So what they are seeing is what they will be seeing is they will be seeing you full screen. Normally, what they see is you on the left side of the screen and me on the right side of the screen. Today, what they're seeing is you full screen, and then I'm in a box that covers most of the upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
But they can see that, so it's like they can see what they're seeing. Anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying me that, like, what I could do with Skype so easily the last couple of times, it's now like a big problem. Like, I don't know if they're doing this to me on purpose. Which would be weird and conspiratorial, but that would be weird.
So Tyson tonight is having he's aggravated at Skype for good reason, and I'm annoyed with my voice because I've been talking since 6 o'clock this morning. So if my voice sounds like I've been in a cheap dive bar, possibly like the Titty Twister from Dusk Till Dawn, please forgive me. Which I've been watching that. I revisited that movie a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, it's a fun one.
Oh, absolutely.
First one, I've never seen any of the follow-ups.
Don't even waste your time. The second one was okay, but the third one was. I mean, the third one just basically tells you where what's her name's character comes from. Who's the Salma Hayek? Her vampire character. That basically the third one is called the Hangman's Daughter, and she's basically the daughter of the Hangman.
Oh, she has an origin story.
Yes, so it's basically the origin story of Salma Hayek's character. Now, the reason why I watched this particular movie was because, for one, it was the first movie where I was introduced to the very first time the four people, actually. So, Quentin Tarantino, of course.
Quentin Tarantino?
Yes. I was introduced to Salma Hayek for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Or Salyek. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I was introduced to Johnny Vatos.
Jonos.
Who's the drummer? Yes. And of course, Michael Parks.
Marks. Yes.
Yes.
See, I was just scrunching together the names because you turned Quentin Tarantino into Quintino, so I decided to do that with the rest of the. Yeah, you caught on, of course. You understood what I was doing.
Now, the reason why I watched this was because whenever I watch, and to give just a really tiny short recap of last episode, we talked about Thugs of Hindustan, which was a great movie, episode 70. You can go catch that. That's already up now. The movie, again, was phenomenal, so I just wanted to recap it. So that's what we talked about last week. And, of course, Tyson brought to the table chocolate and beer. Who doesn't love chocolate and beer at the same time?
Right.
You'd have to be from a different planet if you don't like chocolate and if you don't like beer. I mean, I can understand if you don't like chocolate, if you're allergic to chocolate. But, I mean, chocolate and beer is kind of a good combination.
Yes.
Especially now, I don't think I asked this question the last time. Was that like a sweet tasting hard cola, or there was like no sweetness whatsoever?
Oh no,
Bitter?
no, it had sweetness to it. It was like kind of it tasted like cola, but it also tasted like beer.
Ah, okay.
I actually did a little more research after the show, and I found out that they have other hard soda flavors. Sprecher does. They have like a hard cherry cola as well.
Gotcha.
And some other stuff.
Now, the reason why I brought up the Thugs of Hindustan or even Dusk Till Dawn is because whenever I watch a really crappy movie, I have to watch a really good movie to follow that up with. And From Dusk Till Dawn was a good movie that I followed up. So I'm not sure in my youth if I ever watched this movie before. I certainly don't remember watching it, so I decided to watch it again. And this was now keep in mind there's been many different adaptations of Dracula, the movie, in various movie forms.
Oh yes. And
this one adaptation you can watch on Prime. It's a 1979 movie, and it's called Nosferatu the Vampire.
Oh, the Werner Herzog one with Klaus Kinski.
Yes.
Right?
And yeah.
I haven't seen that one, but I've definitely seen imagery from it. I've seen Klaus done up in the makeup. Sorry, please, yes, continue.
So what they did was, for anyone who didn't watch this movie, they took Dracula, obviously. They took the story of like Renfield and Jonathan Harker and Lucy and all that. And they also took the 1920s silent film Dracula. Or not Dracula, Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And that's what they made Dracula look like. So instead they took away his traditional original look of, the tuxedo, the cape, the very mysterious, good-looking type guy.
Right.
And they just made him look like Nosferatu.
Made him look like a corpse, or make him look like Mr. I can't remember the name of the vampire from Salem's Lot, but.
Yes. I can't remember his name either, but
Mr. Something. He was
Mr. Something.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is though they also used. Do you remember like the plague with the rats and stuff in Europe?
The bubonic plague.
Yes, and they basically blame the rats. Well, so when Dracula comes to whatever town he's going to, and keep in mind this is not London. Wherever this is not London where Dracula ultimately sails to. Right. I don't know where this is. This reminds me of Italy, really, of some kind. But they don't have Italian accents. They don't speak Italian. It's all English. No subtitles. So I don't know where this particular town or region is. But he comes in by boat or ship or whatever, a really tiny ship. And now the whole town is basically plagued by rats.
Oh,
so they're using the plague as well. So they took all these aspects and they kind of like stuck them all together. So for me, it was like a 50-50. So 50% chance that you will like this movie, and 50% chance that you'll probably stand outside my house with pitchforks and torches, and because I suggested watching this movie. So
when you say you, are you referring to the audience at large or to me?
The audience at large.
Oh yeah.
Certainly, you're not going to do that.
No,
but,
I mean I've wanted to see this movie for a while. I actually, I was sort of trying to see more Werner Herzog movies, which actually is not that easy if you're me, because you're limited to what's available on Amazon Prime. And then you have to know that it's there. Like I think I still got Aguirre, Wrath of God on my list, and I did watch Fitzcarraldo. We talked about that, and that's a great Werner Herzog movie. That's pretty interesting. Because I got a poor connection right now. Okay, there it goes. It snapped back into place. All right.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about it.
I probably just froze for a second. So, I mean, the reason why I brought the film up was because we for anyone that's been with us since as Tyson's like...
I'm moving my hand like that, but if I do it really fast, the camera can't move fast enough to really see what I'm doing there. So, sorry.
So it's kind of like slow-mo at the same time.
Yeah, it's like it's really blurry. Anyway, sorry.
The reason why I brought up the film was because... for anyone that's been with us since the beginning, the basis of the show has always been talking about movies from time to time. So, It just so happened that I watched that particular movie over the weekend. I started watching it, and then I kind of like stopped watching it for like a few months, and I'm like, you know what, I should finish it. And like I said, it is a 50-50 chance that you will either really like this movie and appreciate what they were trying to do, or 50% chance you will think this movie's a pile of crap, depending on your view.
Well, it does sound interesting. I'm looking forward to trying to watch it at some point in the future.
Oh, you definitely should. I mean, everyone should just watch it at least one time in their life.
So you're saying it's on Amazon Prime?
Yes.
Okay.
Depending, like what stations or channels on Amazon Prime do you have?
Just whatever the basic ones are. Like, I haven't got any additional add-on. Yeah, I understand. There's one that's called Arrows Film or something like that.
I ain't got that one.
Yeah, I ain't got that one. But it has more Bollywood stuff. Like, I think there's one called BritBox that I also don't have. Stars, I don't have that one. I just have the basic package. So
now, see, Jessica and I, we had Stars on Prime.
Stars. Sorry, that's a Michael Mira reference. A DJ from out there on the coast. Sorry, Don and Mike show. Do you remember Don and Mike show?
Yes.
Yeah. So Michael Mira used to go stars when they talk about stars. So it was sorry.
So we had Stars. If I want to say it like a New Englander, we had Stars. Yeah, we had Stars. But we decided to get rid of Stars. No. So we decided to get rid of Stars on Amazon Prime because we have it on Hulu. So, I mean, it's just an extra added channel that we have on Hulu. So we just ditched it on Prime. We have, I think HBO or something like that, or Shudder. The very basic stuff. Like, we got rid of a lot of the extra crap that we don't even really watch or need, or, like, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't make any sense, really.
Sure, yeah.
But I do know for a fact that movie is on the basic package, so you should be able to view it with no problems.
Do you have Hulu?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the cartoon version of Major Lazer?
I did not.
It's pretty good. If you ever watch it, it's the same kind of length as like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, to where it's like 10 to 15 minutes long instead of like a half hour. But it's created by Diplo and some other people, so like it's all like this really cool like dance hall but nouveau sort of dance music, and it's a very strange but like great music, really great music, good sound design, and just I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Not too many people know this, but in my younger years, and of course certainly when my voice was a tad better, I could actually do a pretty good imitation of Meatwad.
Oh, Meatwad.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Sorry, what?
No, that was a good imitation. But there's a particular rap that he would do that I would imitate. And he's just like, here to the wizard. And of course, Carl would come over. What are you doing? Rapping?
Hey,
I can see that. No, so you're Carl.
What are you doing there?
Rapping?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. Why not?
And then of course, Carl would say, I can see that, but why? Oh. And then Meatwad would say, money, that and some stubby bitches and some hoes and some candy for my nose, riding on some chrome.
I want candy, bubblegum and taffy.
Yes. I mean, that show, it was just so ridiculously stupid. It was funny.
It was really funny. It was just funny.
And it was from New Jersey too, actually, although they never actually mentioned it.
Oh well, yeah, because the guys make it in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's set in New Jersey. That's right. Yeah, they also reused assets in the first few episodes. The mall, I think, is from Powerpuff Girls or something. So yeah, I might have another episode of Tyson Center Taster lined up
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'll wait until we get a little bit further into this.
So, what are you bringing to the table tonight? Like, what type of wares?
Another dollar store alcoholic beverage, and another type of snack alternative. I guess.
Snack alternative.
Yeah, couple of different snacks that I also found at the dollar store, but are probably able to be found elsewhere. Oh wait, no, I didn't find them at the dollar store. I found them at a grocery outlet, which is certainly not a dollar store, but it is. It's.
See, now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me, everyone out there. You really have to forgive my voice tonight. Okay, so the thing I wanted to say, and Tyson's rocking our really cool anti-social show gear. I'm a little cold tonight. That's why I'm rocking a jersey.
It's like the old Levitz bit. Gain 10, lose 10. Gain 10 pounds, lose 10 pounds.
Gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, so Jersey is, for anyone that's listening to us that's not from California, not from Jersey.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. The difference between our states is that you cannot buy alcohol except for like grocery stores and of course liquor stores.
Wow.
So when you walk into like the idea of walking into a dollar store and like being able to buy alcohol would be like it would be like an amazing thing for me. Like I'm not saying like I'm a big drinker because I'm not, but like the idea of just like walking into like the dollar store and be like, I'm gonna grab me a beer. It would be completely, mind blowing.
Yeah,
and
sure.
If you think about it, dollar store beer and treats, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can throw a party for like under $50.
Oh yeah. Well, you can get alcohol pretty much there. You can get alcohol in the supermarket here. Like it's been a thing. Like I remember when I moved to Washington in the end of 1998, beginning of '99. They had these things up there for the longest time. They're called state stores.
Okay.
Where you have to go to a special store to buy alcohol, and and it's not even like the liquor store. It's not, it's like literally like, and it's to buy hard alcohol. You can buy beer and wine elsewhere, but if you want hard alcohol,
buy beer and wine. You could buy beer and wine in a grocery store here too.
Yeah.
But if you want hard alcohol, you have to go to like someone that owns a liquor store. But I know what you're talking about because in North Carolina where I lived, you could buy beer in almost any gas station you walk into. Cool. So that's because it's beer. But if you want like spirits, like hard stuff, they had what's called ABC stores, and they were run by the state.
Alcohol beverage control, or something like that.
And they have dry counties in North Carolina, which means the dry county, you cannot purchase alcohol. You'd have to go outside of county just to buy your supply and then bring it back into your county if you're living in a dry county.
Now, I might be misinformed about this, but I think the plant that makes Jack Daniels is in a dry county.
Is it really?
Yeah, so I think they can't actually drink it there, but they make it there. So
see, that's a mind fuck. Excuse my French, but I mean that's like Poland. They make golf carts, but yet there's no golf courses, from what I understand, unless it changed. But I mean that's what I'd heard. I don't know.
No golf carts where?
They make golf carts in Poland.
In Poland, oh, okay.
But there's no golf courses.
I don't know.
It's one of those crazy rumors that I heard. I mean, I don't know how true it is.
I don't know. It sounds like the beginning of a bad joke. But
No. I promise you, it's not.
No, I know. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
But it's just one of those. It's just one of those weird things that you hear, throughout your life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we talked about this before we started rolling, but I haven't mentioned it since we have, and it's like I wanted to let the audience know that when I do this, I'm not rolling my eyes. There's a second monitor that I'm using to record the shows, and I'm looking at it occasionally. Like right now, I'm looking at myself in the monitor, and then right now I'm looking at Hunter in the other monitor. But it just looks like I'm going ugh, basically. And I'm not. I'm actually going.
Right.
My eyes are just kind of like looking around. Okay.
Now, I wonder, like, how many people actually look at this and laugh. I mean, is there a way to, like I know, like, on your SoundCloud, you can tell how many people have downloaded what episodes or listened to what episodes, but, like, and I know there's likes on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So, has there been, like, any hits on these videos whatsoever or not yet?
The first episode has, I think as of now, it has 9 views. The video version does. Yeah, it's okay. And then the second one, I think has like 1.
Well, you know what? That's a lot better than it's
zero?
faring. Yeah, I mean, it's faring a lot better than the live videos that I do on Facebook on the Antisocial Show. Because you know what? I really got to thinking about it one day. I'm like, it'd be cool to just do a series of live videos, especially when I'm promoting a new episode. It's just easier just to, point the phone, turn the camera around, and just speak into it. This way I can just speak clearly and just speak more instead of just sitting there typing. You know what I mean? And so far I've got like 2 hits, 3 hits here, sometimes no hits. But you know what? I keep doing it because why not? You know what I mean? Eventually it's got to lead to something,
Why not? Maybe do Instagram Live or something,
Ah, yes, that's going to be the next step because there is an Antisocial Show Instagram page. So I'm going to start using that more. Yeah, you follow it.
You could try doing it live now, and we could say that we're recording and see what happens.
Probably not a whole lot because there's not too many people following it.
Oh, well, yeah, we could do yours. Do you have a decent amount of followers on Instagram, right?
No.
No?
That's the problem. Once I build up the followers, I can actually start doing live videos during the recording. But no. Let's see.
Well, I've got a few. Maybe I could start a live video and then see if people. This could be.
Sounds good.
This could be a really bad idea, but I'd give it a shot if I can get if I can get my.
Actually, I take that back. I have 48 followers apparently.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a couple people I don't know though.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, okay, so.
As Tyson seems to be lost in thought or developing a thought.
Yes, like a camera. All right, let's see here. I'll get rid of that. I just wear my phone with just problems I didn't have like 4 years ago when I didn't have a phone. Okay.
Wait, I've known you for almost a decade. You didn't have a phone 4 years ago?
7. You've known me for 7 years. That is actually much closer to a decade than 5 or 6 years. So I'll give you almost a decade now.
Well, yeah, because it's almost 3 years. I mean, 3 years will be a decade.
Yes. So it's 70% of 10 years. So that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
That's close enough to almost for me now. All right, let's see. I used to be able to just go live. I'll go live on my phone. There's a button. Let's see, it's one of these.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
4 years ago, how did you, because I never actually sat there and said, hey, Tyson, I certainly didn't do that back in 2011 when we started talking. So I never actually sat there and said, hey, Tyson, how are you communicating with me? Are you doing it by phone or are you doing it by some other means? Because don't forget, at first, we primarily started talking on Twitter solely. So I don't know how you communicated back in those days, but obviously now I'm looking at you. You have a phone, so I mean,
Yeah, I used the iPad for.
Gotcha.
I was just smiling because I found a picture of my son that I haven't used yet, but it's yeah, if I can see it.
Adorable.
Snap this way. There we go. He's making a face.
Back it up a little. Back it up just a tad bit. Yeah, there you go. Adorable. He's like sticking his tongue out.
Yeah, he's making a gookie. Like Harpo Marx. Let's see here. Oh, there's a reference. Okay, well, they've also apparently made it more difficult to go live here. So it's Instagram television. Is that the thing?
Really?
I don't know. It used to be just have a button and you'd be able to go live. Press something.
It's weird.
I don't know. Instagram TV. Let's see here.
Do you think? Do you think like technology is like passing us by in the night and we're just not like realizing it?
Maybe some of it is to some extent, but
yeah.
How difficult is this to go live? What do I do? Press my thing here. Press go story. Live. Okay. Start live video.
Live. Yes. Start live video.
Okay. see how this works. I don't usually do
All right,
this.
now I am using the anti-social Instagram page.
Are you?
Yes, right now on Instagram, of course.
Okay, and you are signed in and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's see if I can. I don't usually do these ever. I am now live. Okay. Well,
Okay.
Let's see. Add guest to be in your live video. Okay, so hello. If there's nobody watching at the moment.
I see just a blank screen.
And I've got my podcast partner in my ears, and you can't hear it. So I'm going to try to get somebody on. There you are. Okay, Zombie Infected 68. You're saying hello, okay, right?
Yes.
So let's see. Let's go live with me. Okay, add Zombie Infected to my live video. Yes, okay.
Send request, got it.
I'm going to need you to turn down your sound in your area there because I'm picking it up on this microphone here. Hello, okay, right? So let's see.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
I can. Do you hear the amount of delay that's on that, though?
Yes.
So if I start going, who knows how long it'll be before you hear that? Wait.
I can't see. I mean, I can see you right now. Yes, but I cannot see myself, obviously.
That's fine. Okay, but you are part of the... Oh, wait. No, are you part of it or not? So it's these... Oh, view. So let's go view. Wants to be in your video.
Okay.
Go live with Zombie Infected. Waiting for Zombie Infected 68.
Okay.
And it says waiting for you, Zombie Infected 68. There you are. All right, there we are. Now we're live on my Instagram live feed.
So we are now officially live on Anti-Social Show. Of course, the episode that we're doing.
Let me tell you something. It is really affecting the speed of not my video feed, but your video feed. Yours is coming through not that well. Now nobody's watching right now. It's just us. Uh-oh. I got to turn this down so it doesn't go on my side of the room now.
Okay.
Okay. So people listening or watching this will still not be able to hear you, or they might hear you twice. Yeah, this might have been poorly conceived. This might be a bad idea.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, so if any of you are watching or are watching this later, because there's going to be a replay for I don't know how long it lasts, maybe 4 to 8 hours. I'm here with Hunter Block, my partner for Anti-Social Show, and we are recording ourselves on Instagram Live at the moment, but because we're doing episode 72 right now, which is going to be our third video episode, and you can kind of see. There's my setup there. There's Hunter, and then I'm up there, and then there's Hunter again up there, and then there I am again up there. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, so go to YouTube and put in put in Tyson Saner for my channel, because that's where the episodes are hosted, and that's TYSONSANER. Hunter, did you want to say anything to people? I don't know if they'll be able to hear you through this or not.
Yeah, definitely come check us out and come join us, actually. We love guests on the show, so yeah.
He says come join us,
fun.
And we
Yes.
we like guests. This is really strange. This could have been a pretty terrible idea, but I'm kind of amused. So thank you for watching. Anybody who watches the replay, maybe you'll see me live some of these times, and probably I'll have figured out some other way to do this. But all right, bye everybody. Be decent to each other. Anti-Social Show. It's also
Absolutely.
Go to www.tysonsaner.com for all the links to all the stuff that I do, and blah 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 blah. Thank you for following me. Goodbye. And now I get to share it. So I'm going to share it.
Okay. That was a very interesting, unique experience to anyone out there listening.
I know people are just like, what the heck was that?
Well, think about it. think about it. It's entertaining. I mean, like, what show goes to like such great lengths to
entertain
really
itself?
to entertain itself and the masses? I mean, think about this.
Yeah.
It's like I tell everybody. Because as you know, as a soundcaster yourself, of 2 shows now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Mark Hershon for giving me one of those shows.
Yes. I actually did invite the Podfather on this show when he gets an opportunity, and he accepted.
Oh, good.
Of course, it's all scheduled. Of course, obviously.
Yes, I think we talked about it on the show before. So.
Oh, we definitely did. Certain things I do remember. I mean, 71 episodes. I mean, it's hard to remember every single thing that we've ever talked about, obviously, because we tend to go off on a tangent. But certain things I actually do remember, and I actually go back and listen to previous episodes from time to time. So cool. I actually, so the reason why I do that is so that I don't repeat myself too much, or bring up something that I've already like brought up like 1,000 times, like beating a dead cow or dead horse, or nothing against the animal lovers. I own a horse myself. But that's the reason why I do that. So anyway, getting back to what amusing ourselves.
An oxen.
Yes.
Probably
an oxen?
Also used as a...
Yes.
Because a horse isn't just transportation. It's also potentially a agriculturally helpful animal. So
that's true.
Another type of animal that you could beat a dead one and it doesn't do any good would be any animal really, but would also probably fit in the same category what the horse was meant for. Oxen.
Correct.
If I keep doing this with my hand, eventually I'll stop talking.
So to the non-horse owners out there, Tyson is right. A horse is a good working animal, but depends on the breed. Now, if you have a quarter horse, for example,
that's better. Fix the lights.
If you have a quarter horse, you're not going to use that in a work farm capacity. That's more to show or to ride, but definitely not a work animal. A horse that you would use would be a Clydesdale. Oh, yeah. Clydesdale's perfect for because they're more bigger, bulkier than a quarter horse.
Fire mares.
Like take my horse, for example, is only what's called 16 hands, so he's not very big, but he's our doof. He's definitely a character. But anyway, getting back to the original topic of what I was saying, I don't want to go off on a tangent here. So Tyson was talking about how we're amusing ourselves, and I said, like, what show does that, except like if like one person was watching or something like that. But if you really think about it, I mean, if you have, and I tell this to everybody, I say, don't worry about in the first year or 2 or 3 of accumulating listeners. If you have 1 or 2 or 3 or even possibly 10 listeners, you are a soundcaster. You have that amount of people that are willing to take time out of their busy schedules and incorporate you into their lives, whether they're working, driving, doing household chores. That's the time they're allowing you into their personal lives, and they appreciate it if you think about it. I mean, because they're so used to like listening to your voice, maybe it like soothes them or something like that, or maybe it like takes them out of a depression. I've heard that before. Maybe not with us, of course, but they're like listening to Hollywood Babylon when they do like their mailbag. Yes. There's been plenty of people that appreciate. Oh, time out. Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, this will probably stay in the recording. Your video and audio has been getting progressively worse since we did the whole thing with Instagram Live. It is hard to see you, and it just started becoming hard to make it because it was digital. So I think we should leave it going, but like just hang up and re-Skype, and then I'll just re-stretch the window, and then I'll cut it together.
I will hang up and re-Skype you. So we're going to take a 2-second intermedium, and I will call you right back.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to keep cutting.
We're making podcasts great again. No pun intended.
Yes.
So.
Mpugga.
So Tyson has his if Tyson doesn't mind me bringing it up now, Tyson has his dollar store alcoholic beverage.
Yes, welcome to Hastily Cobbled Together, episode 2 of Tyson Saner Taster. This is, let's see here. I'll show it close. It looks kind of washed out to me. I can't even tell if that's...
Yeah, I can't, with the glare, I can't tell what it is. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Now I can.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
that's cool. It totally shifts the focus. Well, that says sangria.
Sangria red wine, it
Lost
looks like.
something, yeah. It is basically a kind of a Mountain Dew bottle size of sangria. I have had it in the fridge, and it is a red sangria.
Jessie would kill you right now because she loves sangria.
There's actually more than one type. There's that was in the same batch. There's a white sangria, there was this red sangria, and then there was like a mixed berry sangria. And I think I've had the mixed berry, but I don't believe I've had this type. So I'm gonna give this.
I only ever drank red.
Classy too, but. So yeah, it should definitely be chilled. Oh, I'm a little dubious though because I just smelled it. It does smell like wine, but you know. Okay.
Now it has like that very dry. Does it have like a dry red smell?
It does.
Okay, so it's definitely because red sangria is supposed to be served with fruit.
Well, yeah, red sangria is still made with
red wine.
White wine, isn't it? Okay, well,
No.
it's made with red wine.
wine.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it.
Probably.
I'm not a bartender. But usually sangria is like red in color, and it has fruit at the bottom if it's served in a whatchamacallit. What do they call them things?
Pitcher?
Pitcher, yes. And the fruit's at the bottom with the ice and then the sangria. You let the fruit sit there, and then when you're done, you just eat the fruit.
I let it breathe for a bit. So
Yes,
no, it is
yes.
red wine, but I don't want it to be room temperature. So I did chill
definitely.
it because the sangria is meant to be drunk chilled.
Yes.
Drunk
Chill.
Drunk being the
chill.
past tense of
Yes.
having drink, yeah.
Dear listeners, Tyson's drunk already.
Oh no, I'm not drunk yet. It says I love it. It says imported authentic on it. Authentic Spanish.
Actually, dude, I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And for anyone out there listening, you know, we video Skype a lot of times. And I'm not talking about the whole video thing that we've been doing now, but you know, most of the episodes we do Skype, and that one episode where you were drinking your vodka infused with the little candy corns. I mean, you were taking some shots there, and dude, you were like just to me anyway, in appearance, you were just as sober as a judge. I mean, unless you were drunk and you could hide it well, I didn't even notice a difference.
Yeah, it's interesting you mention it. I would say I hide it well.
Yeah. Now, see, you're like my dad. Now, my dad was never a big drinker at all. Like every once in a while, he'll have like he would have like a whiskey sour, and only on a very rare occasion would he go out, you know, and have some drinks, but never seen the man drunk, except one time, and it was off of a few White Russians. That was like the one drink he couldn't like take and hide well. So yeah.
It's vodka, Kahlua, and cream, I think.
Yes, and it's disgusting.
Oh, I mean, if you like the taste of coffee.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the taste of coffee, but I'm not like a big Kahlua fan.
Do you like the coffee flavor? Yeah.
Yeah, no. So
I like Kahlua. I don't have it much, but I do. I don't hate the taste, I can say. I was a rusty nail person. I liked scotch with a little drambuie in it, except I didn't have it ever on the rocks. I always had it neat. And to me, the combination of scotch and drambuie, especially well scotch, I'm not sure about like really expensive scotch or the stuff that tastes like formaldehyde, the stuff that tastes like formaldehyde smells, I should say, or similar.
I'll tell you what, and it's a good thing that my mother-in-law will never, in fact, hear this, because we are having an open bar at the wedding, and the last open barred wedding that I've been to was my cousin's.
Ah.
And it was a really good thing that I wasn't driving that night, because So anyway, they had the cocktail hour. I had like 2 beers there. That was it. Just 2 beer minimum. That was it for me. Anyway, I ate my dinner, of course, and we were doing a lot of dancing. But again, open bar. So the bartender was making like I had him make a whiskey sour, right? But he made it so perfectly that no alcohol could be detected. That's how perfect he made it. And I want to say I walked away probably 8 whiskey sours in that night. And yeah, it was a good thing I wasn't driving. All right, so drum roll. Tyson is going to try this sangria.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just thinking about the story you were telling because alcohol stories. I remember like I used to drink more, certainly more often than once a week. All right. There seems to be some sediment in the top of the bottle, which is a little worrisome. I'm going to try it this way. All right. Up yours.
Up yours. Oh, hopefully he doesn't spit it out. Okay, he's taking a big gulp of it. He's swishing it around.
It is quite sweet.
Doing a little lip smack.
And tart.
I would suggest if you're going to drink that, and this is just my suggestion. Try putting it in the refrigerator prior to drinking, like a few hours. Shake it up. Okay.
Shake it up.
Shake it up because basically because it's been sitting on the shelf, or was it on the shelf, or was it like in an actual freezer case?
Freezer case? You mean when I bought it?
Yeah.
It's
like like the fridge case that they have in stores.
It's on the shelf.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put this over a little bit of ice now.
Yes, I was going to suggest that. You got to put it on ice.
I do have some ice. And I'm going to cap the rest of this here because I don't know that that's going to get any better as it is. It's not the worst thing, I'll tell you that. It's I think it would go good with something. I'm just not sure what yet.
Fruit.
No, I mean it would. I mean like a cheese or something, like a strong. Like if you're going to do cheese and wine pairings, you need contrasting flavors and.
Correct.
There's some sweetness. There is some. So you'd want something not sour, but like a gorgonzola or some kind of veiny cheese.
Something that like is not like what about Munster cheese?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There's a cheese here that comes from that's made in Arcata out where I live. It's called it's a Cypress Grove cheesery, and they make one called Humboldt Fog and another one called Bermuda Triangle.
Ooh.
They make several goat cheeses, but Bermuda Triangle is a cheese that is in the shape of a triangle. That's not a triangle. Let's see. One side is flat. Well, you know what a triangle looks like. Yes, thank you. And so in the middle of the triangle, if you can imagine, there we go, right about where my nose is goat cheese. And then then between the goat cheese and the rind, which is edible, is like something that's pretty, it's like a stiff brie. So that was good. That was really good. That was on special a couple weeks ago. And I was just like, yes, please, I can finally try this stuff. Yes.
Brie is good.
Brie is damn good. Okay, so this is a little bit here on ice, so we'll see if that improves its flavor and whatnot.
Yep, definitely shake it up a little bit. Okay. Drum roll. Better?
I think so. I don't think I feel my throat closing up or anything.
Now, does it have an aftertaste? That's what you got to look for.
It does, but it's not necessarily unpleasant. I mean, it's not like a really strongly lingering aftertaste, so I'd say that's successful. So I guess that's the drinks part of Tyson Saner Taster. I may be sipping on that throughout the rest of the few minutes here we have before we go. Somebody signaling you? And
you are actually being choppy now.
Oh, because it's coming through great here.
No. Your signal was being choppy as you were saying that. You were like, I may sip, 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 sip. This and then it just for some reason like that like the signal for the first time in like a long time just reminded me of the old days of when we started doing Antisocial Show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it reminded you of Max Headroom.
No, not at all. For anyone just joining us for the past few episodes, back in the day, recording was like a hit or miss. Like, you know, we would either have like a really smooth night of like no problems, or Tyson or myself would periodically either freeze or drop out. And I don't miss those days of you know the podcast gremlins screwing with the signal. Definitely not.
No. Certainly don't miss the headache that's all that caused.
Oh yeah.
Losing so much good material and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Podcast gremlins can kiss my
ass.
Anal area. Yeah.
Anal area. Can kiss my ring paste.
Can tongue my bung. Okay.
All right. So what you got?
It's a bag of something.
Bag of something. Okay.
So what we have here is a snack. We have a snack here called. It's from World Cuisine Saffron Road.
Okay.
It is crunchy chickpeas.
Crunchy chickpeas. Okay.
And they are honey roasted, like peanuts would be.
Ooh.
Now, when I picked the bag up and earlier tonight, they were all clumped together, but that's what honey roasted peanuts do as well. So I just kind of did a little.
Correct.
I broke them up a little and poured some into the bag, and then sealed this up because this bag comes with actually like a Ziploc style sealer on the inside.
Which is great,
yes,
by the way.
Resealing bag. So I don't have to buy a bag, you know, I don't have to put a bag clip on it. Here's what the package looks like. It's let's see, saffron. Actually, I can't. Oh, I can see it on the monitor up there. There. Oh, there's the benefit of having the second monitor. Because I'm actually I'm holding this in a place where I actually cannot see the monitor.
Crunchy chickpeas.
Crunchy chickpeas, Saffron Road, crunchy chickpeas. They're honey mustard. Excuse me. They're honey
roasted.
Honey roasted. So much like peanuts, yes. Because I do not eat peanuts anymore either, because I possibly have a reaction to them. I am going to have to try them again at some point to see if I do in fact react to them, or if I was just reacting to other stuff and having peanuts at the same time. But that's what you do when you eliminate stuff from your diet to see if it's messing with you or not. So you just have to, you know. And I didn't miss peanuts. I replaced it with whatever else there were. Anyway, so do these honey roasted chickpeas. You ever eaten chickpeas before?
Yeah, like once or twice.
Yeah, you probably know them as garbanzo beans.
Yes.
I've made crunchy chickpeas in the oven, by the way, through a Tasty recipe, which was on the Tasty app, and it curried once, and they're okay. I don't know if I did them okay, but anyway, so they feel, yeah.
I love curry.
Oh yeah, me too. I made one last Monday. Not this Monday, but last Monday. I made fried rice twice this week. Anyway, okay, here we go.
Nice. All right.
I tried getting them in my mouth without lodging in my throat.
Drum roll.
Wow. And crunch. Oh, they are crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dry.
Pretty dry.
Not a bad flavor.
Now, obviously, it tastes like honey, right? Like a honey roasted. Okay.
Getting a honey roasted. Getting a honey roasted.
Experience.
I wouldn't say vibe, but I like experience. I'm gonna put one in my mouth instead of like juggling two in my mouth. I should have actually just started with one. A pretty good crunch. Still a bit dry. But it doesn't suck all the moisture out of your mouth. It's just that it's a powdery texture. It's not something that it's probably not something that people, unless they eat roasted chickpeas, are used to having happen in their mouth as a consistent experience.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it's like a good light snack, really.
Because it's like a cracker on the outside, but on the inside it's like... Well, it's a dry bean. I don't know what else to... You know. How else to put that. Okay.
It's like, here, have my dry beans.
Have my dry beans. And Now for a little more of the sangria.
Sangria.
You know, it's not bad. I'm starting to now taste the fruit more than the wine, which I'm appreciating because now I'm tasting the part of the wine that makes it the sangria. Because pretty much all wine has a unifying taste where you know it's wine when you're drinking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then there's like all the other things that make it like a unique wine, like whether it's got woody notes or hints of pear or whatever, you know.
I gotta tell you a funny story real quick. And now, I won't get into details of exactly what I do for a living or who the people involve. But it at the time, when I was probably at this place, I want to say a year, maybe two, something like that. And it was Valentine's night, and me and the ex-wife, we went to a place called I forget the name of the place now, but it was a hibachi place, and I remember it I remember it vividly because it was like a snowstorm that night, kind of. It was like I wouldn't say storm, but it was definitely some heavy snowfall that night. So we went there. And she's like, you've been wanting to try, because we've been there like 1,000 times. So she's like, do you want to try sake, right?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Now, I've never, until that point, had sake, and I had like the whole bottle to myself.
Oh,
now,
wow.
a whole bottle of traditional sake in a hibachi restaurant is no more than this big for the audience listening. So it's not really...
Do that on the other side of the screen. No, the other way. There you go. Oh, okay. So now we can see it because, I'm blocking that part of the screen where you had your hands.
Okay. So it's very small, but the thing about it is if you've never had sake, it can knock you on your ass.
Yeah.
Traditional sake is almost like hot rubbing alcohol.
Okay, yeah.
So you have to get used to the taste. But like I said, knocks you on your ass. So I had a whole bottle to myself, and I was feeling quite lovely walking out of the restaurant. So that's when my immediate supervisor called me, and he's like, I'm calling you. And I'm like, I know, but you're not calling me to ask me how I'm doing. So, like, what do you want? He's like, how early can you be in tomorrow? And I said, well, judging by how I'm feeling right now, I could probably be there by 6. Now, keep in mind, I was a lot younger, so I can, get like a few hours of sleep and be like Superman. Not now, of course. But because essentially the other supervisor was staying over, and he wanted me there by 4 o'clock. I said, no, I'm sorry, he's because I can't drive. Yeah. So that just the whole alcohol thing just reminded me of that story. It was just hilarious.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
like, oh no, I was like, nah, he's.
I hear you. Yeah, there's sometimes it's just like, there's nothing that can be done. But
Absolutely. But I would suggest though with that particular, because you are drinking, obviously when you go to a restaurant. Speaking of restaurants, obviously that sake was fresh. I would imagine. I mean, I don't know how sake's made. Except I know it's made from rice. Most sangrias are made, they're mixed and everything else, where that was store-bought. So I would imagine if you shake it up and then you put it on some ice in a big pitcher, it might actually even taste like restaurant style sangria. You know what I mean? It's almost like instant potatoes, where how it has you could tell the difference between a real potato, or if you're eating mashed potatoes,
Yes.
you could tell the difference between homemade mashed potatoes and instant potatoes. But
right, yeah, totally.
if you add salt, pepper, and butter, sometimes it can kind of mask the taste. So
Right. There's a consistency problem, but I understand what you're saying.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if there's a consistency problem with that particular sangria, again, chilled. Remind me. In October, of course, after the wedding, or even before the wedding, when we do our Halloween, month, which for us starts starts September 1st and ends October 31st. I'm going to share with everybody the recipe for vodka blushes because I heard that's like the perfect fall drink.
Vodka blushes.
Yes. Which is made with lime juice, grenadine, I think, obviously vodka, and it's chilled. And I first became aware of it when I was watching Rosemary's Baby. That's what they served was vodka blushes. So I grabbed the recipe off of YouTube, and I tried it. Phenomenal, delicious.
Oh yeah, lime juice and grenadine and vodka. And
it's
nice pomegranate syrup you used to have in Shirley Temples all the time. That
it's called.
So be sweet and tart and vodka, and then over ice.
Correct. So what you do is you know like those things in the bar where you it's like the mixers. Mm-hmm. So what you do is you take the ice, you take the ingredients mixed, you put it inside the shaker, you shake it up really good, and then you just pour it.
Are you strain it through ice or anything, or you just?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you put the ice inside the mixer with the ingredients, and then you shake it up.
But do you strain it out, or do you just pour it out with the
actually
icing
no? I think you're supposed to strain it out. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be served cold.
It's it's similar to kamikazes. You ever had those?
Yes.
It's also a vodka and lime juice drink, but it's got triple sec in it as well. Now that
this particular episode has been geared towards alcohol, I remember watching Species was the horror movie with the girl who changed into the alien. She was part human, part alien.
Yes.
And the one guy, Forrest Whitaker, who was the sidekick, he was sitting at the bar and he was like just drinking Long Island iced tea after another, not knowing it was alcohol based. He's like, "Oh my God, this is really good." And everyone was laughing at him because they knew that he was drinking alcohol and he didn't. Yeah. So obviously when I became an adult, I wanted to know what the joke was, or if in fact it tasted like alcohol. And so I had a few Long Island iced teas. It does not taste like alcohol whatsoever.
That's what I hear. There was a joke made of that in an episode of Night Court as well a long time ago. I think it was Night Court. Marky Post's character, I think, kept having Long Island iced teas, and she was ordering iced tea. I think she actually ordered iced tea, and they brought her a Long Island iced tea, and it tasted great. So she didn't say anything, and then she didn't realize she'd had 4 after a while.
You know what's funny about movies?
What's that?
So what's funny about movies is I called Slaughter High, right? And in the beginning of the movie, like the so-called popular kids, they pulled a prank gone wrong on the school nerd, right? And he wanted some paybacks. So he set this whole high school reunion thing up where he just invited them to the school that's been closed down.
Oh.
So they essentially accepted the invitation thinking that they were going to a high school reunion, right? So they go inside the building. They go upstairs and the one room was set up for them, and there was booze and snacks and things like that. But what's funny about this is now they're sitting there, and I don't know how long they were sitting there for, but they're drinking, they're smoking pot, they're snorting coke, and then all of a sudden one of them dies, and then all of a sudden they're able to function, highly function, they didn't do anything at all. It's you just sat there for a few hours drinking beer, hard alcohol, snorting coke, smoking pot. I would be dead if I did all that. How did you function? And brings me to another point. Excuse my French again. Erkin, the Thing, where the one dude is just constantly drinking and not sleeping, and yet he's able to fly helicopters.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, McCready.
That's the one. Yeah, McCready. Right. That's the one thing about Kurt Russell. That's the one thing about movies that you just have to accept it because that's just the way it is. Obviously, in reality, you can't go without sleep, constantly drink, and be expected to fly a helicopter.
Right. And he just totally breaks the computer, by the way. Because he's playing
the chess, and he's poor baby, he's starting to lose it, and then whatever the computer does to beat him, and he just opens up the thing, he's cheating bitch. He's dumps the drink down the thing.
Yeah, he's just who knows how expensive that computer was.
I want to probably say it was the 80s, and probably that was like the only game geared towards that particular model. But I want to say that was probably like in the 300 range, 400 range. I mean, because do you remember like how much the first Nintendo cost? Like when it first came out? I mean, I got it when I was a kid. I don't remember how much it cost.
Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES.
Yeah, like the original Nintendo system, like when it first came out. Like, do you remember how much that cost?
No, I don't. We didn't have one.
Because I did when I was a kid.
Right.
But like, I'm not going to walk up to my parents and say how much does this cost. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
But I would imagine that thing cost quite a bit. And he's just like, yes.
I bet it would have to say what the retail was and everything. In fact, there might even be a chart of all the consoles and how much they retailed for. So while you're looking that up, I'm going to put this in front of the camera. So this is another chickpea treat with crunchy chickpeas with chocolate chai.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, dark chocolate chai. So I've managed to do dark chocolate again on this program. And God, it makes a lot of noise in the background there, all this. Alright, which is my impression of the thing, by the way. Okay, so I'll wait, but I'm going to try the dark chocolate.
Okay, so to cut you off real quick,
that's fine,
according to this, I'm seeing a couple of... All right, so without any games, it was anywhere from $89.99 to $99.99, but if it came with a game, it was $149.99.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But if you do the inflation the inflation calculator for 1980, was it 1983 when it came out?
Yeah, 1983.
So you'd have to basically convert $1983 to today to get the actual, like, what that would have been the equivalent to, you know.
I'll tell you right now, dude, $99 was, for today's standard, is actually pretty cheap for a game console.
Oh, well, yeah, today. Yeah, absolutely. That's, you could forget getting a... It's actually, you can get a Nintendo classic release that has, like, I don't remember, it's like 30 games on it or something of the classic Nintendo games, and it's all in a self-contained unit. You can USB into your... and it's like $60 or something. I don't remember. It was, well, I think it was a little more than that. It was like $89. Maybe it's actually about $89 or $99. But you got games.
I paid
with
$60.
It. $60? Nice. So this is what they look like.
Now that's mixed in chocolate, right?
It is chocolate. As you can see, it's got a little edge there. And oops, and also the shell is melted onto my finger. So it isn't one of those melts in your mouth, not in your hands things.
Tyson's going to suck it off. There you go.
Yeah, well, I have to. I don't want to touch.
No, nothing dirty intended.
I don't want to, Okay, so, it's chocolate. So it's dark chocolate, and also it's chai, and it's chickpea. So, cheers.
Cheers. Salute.
Again, there's that crunch. Well, the chocolate keeps it from being too dry.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes a lot like chocolate plus tea.
Mm.
Which shouldn't be surprising because chai, and I've had chai tea before.
Chai is actually pretty good.
It is. Pardon me, licking my fingers, people. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Well, that is not bad.
Now, do you like that better than the honey roasted ones?
You know, I mean, kind of, but it's because they got chocolate on them. I would eat the honey roasted ones also. Also, by the way, these are a good source of fiber because they are still chickpeas.
Yes.
If you have a quarter cup of these, quarter cup is a serving size of these. So that'd be about twice what I got in the bowl there. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 18 to 27 pieces. You get about 3 grams of dietary fiber. You also only get 9 grams of sugar, which is pretty darn good.
So now, would you say that's like kind of like an extreme radical alternate snack to, let's say, popcorn? If you were into that sort of thing.
I mean, why not have one? Why not have both?
You can.
You got two different flavor profiles. It'd be like, it's more like putting M&Ms, eating M&Ms and popcorn. Except in this case, it's sort of a tea flavored, like chocolate tea.
See, I like tea. I like tea. Like one of my favorite teas.
It's me.
Yeah, one of my favorite teas is Passion from Starbucks, because
I don't think I've had that.
Okay, so Passion tea can be drank in one of two ways. You can drink it hot.
Yeah.
Which, if you decide to drink it hot, you put you don't put sugar in it, you don't put milk in it, you just drink it hot, like as is, like Chinese green tea. You just drink it like that. If you're gonna serve it cold, liquid sugar and ice. It's a perfect summer drink.
Well, some like it hot, but some sweat when the heat is on. Some feel the heat and decide they can't go on.
Yes.
I almost knocked that right on the ground.
Uh-oh, Tyson's a little buzzed on the show, everybody.
Just
joking.
Right next to where my elbow would be, so it'd be like clunk. Anyway.
Oh, are you kidding me? I've been knocking into crap all day, dude. Like I was at work all day, and a lot of people in my office today, so it was basically just trying to just not knock into things and bump into people, so.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it.
Knocking in people, yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I came up with a strange little mind exercise. I thought you might know the you might have heard this, you might not have. I don't know if I've never heard this from anywhere, but that does not mean that somebody else has not already figured this out. But okay, so you follow me. Okay, take the number 100. All right.
Okay.
Let's say you have 100 marbles.
100 marbles. Okay.
So they're physical objects, right?
Okay. Physical objects.
So you got your 100 marbles. So now take 50 marbles and put them in one, not really a pile. Let's say they're in a grid, but they're in one area, right?
Okay.
50 marbles there, 50 marbles there.
Okay.
50 divided by 2. Sorry, 100 divided by 2 is 50.
Right.
Now you have two 50s, you've got 100. Okay.
Right.
So now, if you take a marble from one of the 50, you now have 49.
In one pile, right.
In one pile. And if you take that one marble and put it down in the pile with the 50,
51.
you got 51.
Right.
Right. Okay, so it's a difference of 1. It's 50 minus 1, or 50 plus 1. It's this 1. You can see this in your mind. You can imagine this marble. It comes out of the pile of 50, becomes 49, it goes into the 50, it becomes 51. Now, while there's still 49 on one side and 51 on this side, start taking away 1 on each side per marble. Until you go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 49. And then once it's left, how many marbles are left on the table?
How many?
Well, so 1 for every one until you get so you've taken away 49 on both sides. So one pile was 49. So
and the other one was 51.
So on the side where it was 49, there would be 0, and on the side where there was 51, it would be 40. It would be 51 minus 49, which is 2. Yeah.
I should know that.
But this is the thing. So that one marble, the one you took from one side and put on the other side, is now worth 2.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
You know why that is, though? Sorry, go ahead.
No, why?
Well, no.
No, why?
You were going to say something.
No, go ahead. Why?
Well, I thought you had a question already. It was something else.
I was going to say something, but go ahead. You were talking first.
Okay. So once again, 50 over here, 50 over here. Pluck 1 now becomes. It should be as simple as this one marble. Boom, 49. Boom, 51. 51 minus 49, 2.
2, right.
It's because it's not actually that way on paper. It's two separate equations. It's because 50 minus 1 is one equation.
Right.
Is that 1 is a whole number. And that's 1, and it's on a separate, and then 50 plus 1 is a second equation. So it's actually two 1s that are used as whole numbers. It's one on this side and one on this side. It only becomes the same one in physical space.
Gotcha. Okay, I got it.
Isn't that strange?
That is strange.
I mean, actually, that's normal, but it seems strange to me to put it that way. So that's Yeah. I'm just thinking about that today. I was like, it does feel weird.
No, it is weird, but I mean, it does make sense.
It's just, yeah.
It's just if you look at it like as two separate equations, like two separate problems, it does make sense. Yeah, that's what it is. It does make sense, though.
But in the real world, if you're moving moving one marble from one pile to the other one, it's just the one marble, but it's just
the one marble.
It creates a difference of two.
Right. Why that is?
See, isn't that? It's like no, it makes sense. And then there's a part of your brain that's like, but it doesn't make sense. No, it does make sense. It's just something's weird about it. Go ahead.
See, every once in a while, ladies and gentlemen, Tyson does get me at a time like I've been up for like 24 hours, and like he does pose a question that does work your brain, which I love, and that is definitely an interesting question. It's almost like looking at a painting, right? Mm-hmm. And describing what it is you're looking at, but your brain actually will fill in the blanks of things like you don't understand. Like, for example, like if you've seen that picture before and then all of a sudden it was altered. So whatever facts you don't have of looking at that picture, your mind's going to automatically fill in the blanks of what you think it should be based on perception. If that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah, it makes complete sense.
See? There's a woman, don't ask me who her name is because I forget now.
Okay.
There's a woman who has an art degree. Yeah, art degree in art, and she was giving a seminar, and now she's like taught like FBI agents, and she's taught like police, local, different police, different local police municipalities, Navy SEALs, and what she's doing is she's taken art, okay, and she's basically using it to basically challenge your perception of things. So in this case with the math, what seems like one problem, like you're taking like just one marble, switching it over to another pile. So, okay, so you have 49 in one pile, and then you have 51 in the other pile. It's actually two separate problems. And now one marble equals two. So I totally get the concept. It just took me a second to just to make the connections.
Now, there's plenty of people that are just like, but it doesn't equal to. they never had a thing. And as I'm working it over in my head, I understand that it didn't literally become two. It just feels like it became two because it's like
right.
Yeah, because before you could take away one marble on each side and they would disappear at the same time. But it's because the first side started with 50, and the second side also started with 50.
Right. So if you have 100 marbles, you separate them by 50. 50 one pile, 50 another pile. You take that one marble. Now you have 49 in this pile, but you transfer it over to this pile. Now it becomes 51, but what you're doing is you're subtracting a marble from each side. Is that right?
Yeah, well, if you were to, that's just way of kind of like physically representing getting rid of them at the same time. The easy way is just go 51 minus 49, but yeah,
it's 2.
But moving it in physical space kind of helps illustrate the thing.
Which is 2.
Thing is, you actually probably should take the marbles away once this first marble's up in the air, because if you do that, this one becomes 49. That's still 50. Now you start removing marbles, and that leaves you with one over there, which would match this one. that
Right.
you haven't put down over there yet. So
Right.
now it's equal. Now there's one on each side.
Right.
Which is what it should be, because it's still technically. Anyway, yeah. So it's just the difference between like whole numbers and.
Well, that's speaking of which, that's like this like new crap they're teaching in school now, which is beyond even my comprehension, which is core math.
Core math.
Yeah, it's a new thing now, and for the life of me, I don't get it.
I may have to.
It's basically
check out a few YouTube videos or something.
Yeah, it's basically taking mathematical equations and just making them that more complicated. Which like to get, instead of like trying to to get to a problem or solving a problem to the most simplest number, it's like you have to go through all this like long drawn ass. Watch it on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll definitely. And if I don't remember, like right after we talk about this, I'll definitely remember when I'm editing.
Just remember, core math.
Is that Is that CORE?
Yes.
Okay, so like an Apple core math.
Yes.
All right. Well, I got something to look up later. Cool.
And of course, speaking of like core of an apple, we can thank Tim Apple for Apple products.
Yes, Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
Tim.
Thanks, Tim Apple.
Tim Apple. Yeah.
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
It's Tim Cook though, right?
Yes, his name is Tim Cook, but apparently, according to the president, his name is Tim Apple.
Not to be confused with Tim Pool.
Absolutely.
He's a different guy. Anyway. All right. Well.
That's all the time we have for Anti-Social Show.
Yes. So for Anti-Social Show, I'm Tyson Sainer.
And I'm Hunter Block.
Be decent to each other.
Absolutely. Oh. And I may say one thing.
Yes.
So I do have before we cut the audience loose, I do have an idea in the works. I mentioned it on the live video. I'm not going to say what it is yet. It may or may not be possible, but I'm going to keep you teased. I want your mind to think about what it is I have in the works. So that's all I'm going to say for now. And until next time.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace.
Have a good time, folks.